Dorman, you had a dream. Did you not?
I believe I did.
I had a dream that one day the racial. Okay.
Are we recording right now?
Big J, have you got? All right. Big J's got it this time.
Sweet.
He's a professional at this point.
Yep, he's our official game recorder. We should be paying him.
Wait, who is? Oh, Big J. Oh, okay, I got you.
Bro, wait till you see this clip I throw up later tonight.
Sweet. Looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to it. I need to see the last clip from the other game.
But anyway, yes. So, a dream.
Yeah, you dreamt of a tall, spindly, pale white creature, like a humanoid, some kind of. It looked human, but the proportions were all wrong. Crawling out of the well. It crawled up through the well, and you saw its hands, and then its face. Its sort of mostly featureless face emerged from the well, and then you backed away from the window for a moment, and then when you approached the window, it was gone, and then you saw its hand reaching up towards you over the windowsill.
Delightful horror.
And then you woke up on your back on the floor, staring up at the ceiling. You managed to get some rest the rest of the night, but I'm curious, before you go back to sleep, what's your reaction to that kind of dream?
Honestly, to that kind of dream, his first reaction is going to be a mild bit of confusion and muttering to himself, "That's not what I normally see." Get your head out of the bag, dumbass. Sorry, talking to the cat.
I'm sorry, talking to our cat, not Bear.
Yeah, me? Like, whoa.
But if you want attention, come here.
This is my bag. I'll play with it if I want to. Thank you.
But yeah, it's just mild confusion, and if the window has a curtain, he will pull it closed before he goes to sleep.
It has shutters, so you can pull those closed.
We'll do that.
You pull the window shutters closed. They come together with a satisfying, and you find a latch and kind of pull it down, and the windows remain locked throughout the night. You sleep. Everyone else sleeps pretty peacefully. You make it through the evening without any further trouble. When you wake up, sunlight is streaming through the windows, pooling in these gold puddles on the floor. There's chirping birds outside, and it sounds vibrant out there. You can hear all kinds of noises, like people moving around, going about their daily business. And downstairs, you can hear the clink and clatter of these dishes as Ara apparently goes about. Ara Tollux, the halfling barkeep, goes about handling the morning rush. The smell of bacon and maybe some kind of tea wafts up into the upper rooms where you guys are staying.
Dorwin will mask up, a full mask and cloak and everything, make sure all his skin is covered. He will then make his way downstairs to order a bit of breakfast and tea if they have it.
Okay. What's everybody else doing? Not all at once now.
Well, I mentioned in the chat that, yeah, I'm definitely waking up in the morning, like at the foot of Brian's bed. I mean, I guess Brian was like meditating only half the night, though, but like regardless, I'm at the foot of his bed, even if he wasn't in it. And I'm doing the cat stretch like I woke up. And yeah, I want to go downstairs and find some breakfast too. I like bacon.
Yeah, even by the first time he woke up from his first long cat nap, I was already standing at the window looking out at the sky, night sky. And by the time he wakes up in the morning for real, I've already packed up all my possessions and got everything slung over my or hanging off of a chair in the corner, and had already made coffee in the room. And I guess I'll just follow him down and get breakfast too.
Okay. You've got a kind of a mug of coffee in your hands. You're pretty much prepared to go for the day, it sounds like. And you've got this sort of steaming mug of coffee. How would you heat it? Do you have like a firebolt spell or something that you would use?
Ouch, I was actually kind of counting on there being like a fire pit in the room, or like a little fireplace in the room or something.
Oh yeah, there's a
But
hearth.
shit.
If that's,
Hey, that works.
I didn't know if you wanted to do it by, pardon me, magic or other means. No, there's a small hearth where you can kind of get a little bit of a fire going, and you heat your coffee over that. Big J, what about you? Do you have any morning preparations, or does Tyrell have any sort of morning rituals that he goes through?
Getting some got his spell repertoire ready, and no, not at the moment.
Okay, just kind of preparing for the day.
Yeah. Same old usual.
Does the smell of potential breakfast draw him downstairs, or does he linger? What?
Oh, absolutely. He's like that. You know, this that aroma of bacon, kind of how it just lifts you up by the nose, and you kind of just like hover.
Yep.
Yeah, one of those.
In Ara's case, literally. And let's see, Apotham. What about you?
My character is. I mean, after his short meditation, because if I remember right, half elves only meditate for 4 hours, right?
But you're a high elf.
High elf, right?
Yeah, they can meditate for 4 hours instead of sleeping. They can sleep. They don't have to.
Yeah, so I meditate for 4 hours, and then, I mean,
Bear.
I partly want to say like I scope out the city at night, but that's a really bad idea. I try to look for my window and after my 4 hours in meditation and just study my surroundings of the area and learn more about what the nightlife looks like and who's patrolling and things like that.
That's interesting. What time do you think you'd be awake?
Like 2 in the morning.
2 in the morning, you say?
Starting at like 2 because it'd be like what 10 o'clock or so by the time I went to sleep, and I'd meditate for 4 hours, wake up, then watch activity in the city for the rest of the time until the morning.
Roll me a perception check. We're going to take a step back before we get to the morning, everybody. I should have asked Apotham this first. Roll me a perception check, Apotham.
Nope. Hey.
16 will do it. So you are positioned in the inn. Dorman was positioned at one end of the upper floor, right about here. You see that window right there?
Yeah.
You are on this kind of northwest corner of the inn, a little bit further up, and yeah, right around there. You can see a couple of buildings from that view, and then it sort of erupts into forest past that. Thick, those thick groves of pine trees that you guys encountered on your way in. The first building is just a kind of tall townhouse-looking building. There's a few doors on it. You can't really tell exactly what it is. The second is a small, sort of unassuming house. Just further past, you can't really see the second house very well, but you can see enough details to make out what it is. You're peering out at that house at about 2:30 a.m. when you see a man that you recognize as the mayor, Mayor Decius, walking through the streets. He's got one hand on his head, gripping his temple as though he's having some kind of headache. and he's got a little bit of a stumble. He passes under your window and continues on towards that secondary house, where he disappears behind the roof of the first, eventually just walking entirely out of view. With a 16 on your perception check, you can't quite hear exactly what he's saying, but you can hear muttering as he passes you. You can hear just the susurration of repeated, low, whispered muttering. It unnerves you a little bit, maybe. It is unsettling to hear a rapid series of syllables and percussive sounds that you almost, you're not sure if it's coherent language. And then eventually he disappears and heads into that house.
Am I able to determine if it's magic?
Roll me an Arcana check. That certainly does resemble a magical chant, perhaps. A spell casts sotto voce, but you didn't see any spell effects occurring. There were no lights, there were no further sounds, just that muttering. It had the cadence of an incantation, but you're not sure what he was incanting.
And that was the mayor?
That was the mayor. Tall, broad-shouldered, red hair down to his shoulders, wearing the same hempen sackcloth clothes that everybody else in town, under a fur-lined cape. And much like the guards, his hempen clothes have plates of metal sewn into them as sort of a makeshift armor. He was carrying a greatsword with him. The last time you saw him, he was walking towards town hall with Grier, who is your ward, so to speak.
And so he went from this house here, it went like this.
No.
Okay.
Hang on. He went from town hall, and I'll need you to zoom out just a bit. Town hall, down here,
Oh.
past the inn, where you saw him move kind of in this direction. You saw him when he was right about here. And eventually he goes around the corner and you can't see him anymore because of that house.
And he was going, what the hell? What the hell, roll 20?
Don't you do this to me now.
Oh my god, did I really just delete that token? Oh,
Stop deleting my fucking token.
You're all right.
I'm so sorry.
We all got plenty of them.
But he was going this way.
Yes.
And was like going around the corner like this.
Mhm.
And he came from like over here basically.
Yes.
Okay. That's what I wanted to make sure I understood. So town hall and then up and around the corner. Do I know what this building is here?
Which building? That building? You do not.
Okay. What about this one?
You also do not know what that is. It appears to be some kind of townhouse. Maybe people live there.
Does this look residential? Well, you know what? I'm not going to keep asking questions. I can just wait till the morning.
Feel free to ask questions. It doesn't bother me. I'm
just
gonna
gonna
say roll investigation check though. Yeah, it bears the marks of a residence. It looks lived in. It's not large enough to be really a storehouse of any kind, but it's also not small enough to be a shed. And he did go in there and close the door. It sounded like so.
Interesting. Well, that might be worth looking into later. At least a peek through the window, perhaps.
Okay. The rest of your evening passes without interruption, and now we come to your morning. It's about 8 a.m. The sunlight is as said, kind of streaming through the window, and you can smell breakfast being cooked downstairs and hear the sounds of activity. What do you do?
I go down and enjoy myself some coffee, eggs, and bacon, and I tell the party what I saw and what I plan on investigating.
Okay. All right. And finally, Gray Malakoff. What is your morning ritual like? Now that you've been in town for a couple days, now you've made some friends, so to speak. What's life like for you in the mornings?
Gray gets up in the morning, running his hands through his hair, and proceeds to don his attire, pulling up his hood and placing the mask on his face. The chest at the end of his bed sits silent, no longer any scratching sounds or jostling coming from it. He grabs the rest of his gear and he heads downstairs for hopefully fulfilling breakfast.
All right. So everyone is headed downstairs. As each of you descend the stairs to the tavern, the tavern entrance below. I'm sorry, the first floor of the tavern. Get your words right. The first floor of the tavern. You see that it's not quite a crowd yet, but there's a good number of people in here, maybe 7 or 8, gathered at different tables, chatting quietly among themselves while you hear the clink and clatter of dishes and spoons and utensils in use. You see Aura floating back and forth behind the bar, doling out food from a couple of heated plates she's kept behind the bar, under over a hearth behind the bar. They both on one plate bacon sizzles, on the other she routinely stops to crack some eggs. On a third kettle, I'm sorry, in a kettle by the fire, close enough to keep heated, is a boiling tea kettle, which she stops every now and then to dispense tea into mugs and then hand those out. She sees you come downstairs, and she sort of pulls up to one side of the bar and says, "Hello, welcome, good morning. Glad you're awake. How are you feeling?"
All of us in general?
Yes. You're all, well, except for Gray, and he's been here a couple of days, but I'm always curious to know how people sleep here. It is it is very quiet at night, and it disturbs me. I'm more used to the sounds of the city, I'm afraid.
Had an interesting night. Tell me, have you known the mayor to be much of a night owl?
Well, she looks. Roll me an insight check, Apotham. Everyone else gets to role play ROLE. Apotham gets to role play ROLL.
Yeah.
Her expression's kind of inscrutable. You can't really parse exactly what expression crosses her face, but it is decidedly not forthcoming. She says, "I don't know him to be much of anything, really. He doesn't come in here very often, and when he does, it's not pleasant. He's not fond of outsiders."
Hmm.
I'm sorry, can you be a little bit excuse me. I'm sorry, can you be a little bit more specific? Not pleasant isn't very informative.
Wasn't he the guy with the weird religion? I think he was pretty unpleasant.
Decius is just a bit fervent in his beliefs. That's how you become mayor, is you sort of serve as religious and political leader in the town. You're both the mayor and the lead priest, so to speak.
Apotham has already told us about seeing him last night, and
Yeah.
the last time we saw Grier was leaving with him. So I want to ask her, did you see our ward come back in last night?
Oh, no. Grier? No. I saw him last go to the town hall with Decius. To my understanding, they gave him a room there so that he could be available at any point for negotiations. You can go check on him if you want. The town hall is open to anybody.
I think it sounds like a good idea to check on it. I mean, we are responsible for his safety still, right?
Yeah, we are. And I'm kind of uneasy about the fact that we let him sleep without supervision.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, maybe we should have left a guard or something.
Yeah. We should go check on him. Okay, bye. I'm run off.
I found him to be largely lazy and useless throughout the beginning of this journey, and I'll finish my breakfast first, thank you.
Well, he does.
So while he runs off, I just eat. That's what he said before, but if you remember, Roderick paid us our coin.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. But a job's a job.
Aura says, I know Decius comes off as, well, most folk, and she kind of leans in a little bit more conspiratorially, so that the guy in the hempen sackcloth clothes down at the end of the bar can't really hear her very well. And she says, I realize that Decius is not the most pleasant of persons, but you didn't hear this from me. But we're in need of metal and other things that Kirill can provide. He would not benefit from harming your friend. There are things happening that mean we'll need metal and some of the resources that, as wondrous and miraculous as this land is, does not provide.
Immelrith slaps the table and says, "Ha, see there? He's perfectly fine. Another plate of bacon, please."
She provides that for you. Apothecary, you want to go check on Grier by yourself, or?
Yes.
Okay.
I'll go with him. I got a sense of dignity.
Okay.
I'm not convinced, even with everything going on, that there might not be some other unseen danger here that we're just not aware of.
I don't know why you're on. You should be a token.
Fucking Dark Lord and Meow Lord together.
Yes. Come with me, furry one. We shall
So you head
investigate
outside.
together.
You head outside while the rest of folks are kind of finishing their breakfast. Does anybody else want to go?
I'll go. Screw it.
I'm sorry, did someone say furries?
Oh, wow! They added some dynamic lighting stuff to make it simpler. Okay. Okay. So yeah, you head outside. It is bright. The air has that chill that's very specific to winter mornings, and that the same distinct sort of wintry scent that pervades the season. And but you can still smell in the distance the scent of soil and people working, and it's a strange sensation to smell those together, since winter normally drives people inside. or at least not to the sounds of farming. They don't drive doesn't drive them to do a lot of farming. So moving, you know that the town hall is to the southeast. So you begin to head that way. People pass by you; they don't really give you much of a second glance, although they do. If those who do give you kind of a nasty look. But you do arrive at town hall, and standing there is in front of the door is the guard you met yesterday. Oh, damn it! Stop it. Who introduced himself as Reagan. He looks up as you approach and says, "Yeah."
We'd like to see our friend, or the guide.
Hey, Grier.
Yeah, Grier.
Hang on. He turns and opens the heavy, about 8-foot tall wooden double doors leading into this sort of ornate looking building. Just inside is a large room with tables kind of set along the floor in sort of these evenly spaced rows. At the back of the room is a massive head of a boar, just huge, mounted on the wall. We're talking like 5 feet across. And it is mounted on the wall, looking out at you as you enter. Seated at one of the tables, nursing a plate of bacon, is Grier, who looks to be totally fine. He looks up as you enter and says, "Oh, well, hello."
Hello, Grier. Doing well?
Yes. I think negotiations will go fine. Did you sleep all right?
Yeah, slept fine. Just and I lean in a little bit just so I can kind of speak more privately with him, as I basically quietly tell him what happened and what I saw and how I was like, he just seemed like hang on a second. I heard a oh shit. Okay.
Whoa.
Suddenly
Sorry.
Blair Witch Project.
Yeah, no, I don't have my I thought my work phone rang, and turns out I'm just freaking juking myself out. I'm fine. Okay, everything's fine.
You should tell Grier what happened again last night in case he completely forgot.
So I basically explained to Grier how I saw the mayor holding his head and going around the corner, and I asked him about if he knew what that building was to the north.
No, now I don't know what that building is, but it is strange. But these people are strange. They're not very lively, most of them. Very set on their work. Whoa. Can everyone still hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Can everyone still see Roll20?
Yes.
Yeah, we removed all the names.
Connection to the server has been interrupted.
They might be rebooting the server. Hang on.
I'm still up.
Yeah, we're still good.
Oh, coming back.
Trying to refresh. It won't load the page.
Oh.
Hang on.
Chaz, is that Quarkus?
What?
The giant boar head.
No, that is not.
Okay,
Corcus.
I want me some Corcus.
That is not another hospitality
Some,
spirit.
some cross realm, yeah, hospitality spirit.
So while we're waiting, who wants to fill me in on some stuff that I missed? Let's go like Cliff Note style.
So I think the first session you were here, we were like defending this Grier dude. He was coming to this town.
Yeah, I remember first session, everything there. What happened?
Yeah, and then the first session ended with we all had a terrible dream and took psychic damage. You remember that?
Yes.
Dorman was like awake and he saw some weird purple light and he like went and checked it out and it was like a sigil that we found that was like some kind of trap thing that triggered when we fell asleep near it. It caused a bunch of damage to us. We asked a whole bunch of dudes about it, and then we found like there was some flowers growing there too, right? And then the flowers were like weird and fleshy, and we like pulled one out, and it had like flesh in the ground or something weird like that. It was a specific delphinium flower.
Very strange.
Summer flower, but it was growing in winter. And we like got there. The town's called Decus Bend, and we got to town, and it's this weird like all the plants grow really good, and we're coming to try to trade stuff for their really good harvests. But we made it to town, and like there was all kinds of stuff for sale, like plants, and we found the mayor guy, and our guy Grier went with the mayor to like discuss the trade deal, and we just messed around in town. We met with the lady at this inn. I forget what else. Oh yeah, and then we met Gray Malikov.
Which is Phantom's character.
Yeah, and then we learned that the lady that's the barkeeper, like she's weird and cursed and can't touch the ground. She like floats around and stuff. Her name is Aura.
By the by, Gray
That's pretty
Malikov
cool.
is another strangely masked individual.
Yeah, so we got two weird masked guys. We were making jokes about that, like get another masked guy. And then I think like we just went to bed.
We were warned not to enter the church. When I was walking through the town square, I flipped a coin in the well and was like struck by a vision of the child from the dream, right? And that was it. And then we went to bed.
When we met the mayor, he was super weird about his religion, and he like wouldn't tell us about it.
If only you had the paladin with you. Good luck trying to keep me out of the church.
Yeah, he was like, it's only for us locals, and we don't tell anybody about it, and like, get the hell out of here. He was real pissed off that we were asking so many questions. He said that we're not allowed to come to the church at all. That there's like a traveler's shrine if we have to do religious stuff. But then we learned that it was Opelia, the goddess of plenty.
Oh, okay, I was going to ask you guys found out who it was.
Yeah, we learned that from the barkeep lady, Aura.
So shit, we're still missing.
Like safe. Yeah, we're still missing Chuz.
And Phantom, yeah. You're not in game though, are you?
Shit, it's unloading. Hang on. Come on.
Alright, BRB real quick.
Roll 20. I was on a roll. God damn it.
Still very crunchy. So one reason that pickling takes so long normally.
Possum, we can hear your crunchy video you're talking about.
Yep, it's not loading for me either.
I do have a couple questions for Ches while we're waiting.
Yeah, what's up?
One of my spells says it requires where'd it go? Requires like a small piece of parchment with some holy stuff written on it. Like, do I have to go get that, or like, is that pretty standard being a paladin?
I'm gonna say that you would have carried partial supplies with you.
Yeah, I
on
just
your
have like the
trait.
random like starting gear. Just I didn't know how detailed we were being with that.
No, I'm going to say that you'd have some of that stuff on you. If it's a really weird component, maybe not. But you certainly would have like a holy text on you. You're a paladin.
Yeah, I've got like 2 holy symbols, but yeah, it just said like parchment with holy text written on it. So just wanted to make sure.
Yeah, and 5e spells have VSM, visual, verbal, somatic, and material.
Yeah.
Yeah, and most of the material is really just kind of flavor text, I would say.
Some of it costs money. It depends on what it is.
Some of it costs money, but it's like you have to just buy the item. It's not consumed when you cast the spell. You just have to like have it.
That depends on the spell. Well,
Yeah,
actually,
there's only like one spell I think, which is the resurrection, which like takes the diamond. That's really
Yeah, I saw. I think I did read that. It's
I
like a
think
bunch of gold.
The spells I always remember from like Pathfinder and 3.5 was like identify cost pearls, and to like be a necromancer cost black onyx to raise undead and stuff like that.
It's similar. In 5e, really, most of the material components are kind of waived. Like you have a quote-unquote material pouch or something.
The difference is if it costs gold, then it can't come from the pouch or be replaced by the arcane focus. So for any spell that has, like, you have to have 20 gold worth of, I don't know, bat wings, then you have to have 20 gold worth of bat wings. You can't substitute anything else for it.
Most DMs will let it slide, though.
Yeah, I'm more interested in your character flavor than I am like, oh my god, you don't have this one thing, you can't cast it. Fuck
I
you.
love taxing players for prismatic orb, though. Whenever they cast that, it's like 50 gold, please.
I figured it'd be better to just check this stuff now rather than like wait to make a decision on spot.
Yeah, no, I absolutely understand.
Because I also have this Divine Smite 2nd level paladin action. I don't know if you guys know that. If you want me to read it, I have a quick question on that too.
Yeah, you super OP.
Yeah, so it says, word for word, it says when you hit a creature with a melee attack, you can expend a spell slot to add radiant damage to the target. So does that mean like once I hit, I can be like, oh, I want to use Divine Smite?
Yeah, you don't have to declare. Right?
Yeah, that's what I was getting at. Yeah.
Yeah, it's super OP. And that scales really well. Eventually, you can do tons of damage.
Yeah, it says maximum of 5d8.
You use spell slots to do it, right?
Yeah, so it starts with 2d8 for first level spell slot, and then 1d8 plus for every spell level higher, with a maximum of 5d8. Plus 1d8 if it's undead or fiend.
Yeah, it's like better than sneak attack.
Yeah, it's lots of d8s.
The only thing is sneak attack is every single round that you can get advantage or be next to an ally. This is a once per use ability. You can use it a certain amount of times per day, essentially.
It's just based off spell slots, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that was all the questions I had. For those who don't know, I've never played 5e, so I'm trying to learn.
That's super simple.
Welcome.
No worries. Yeah, it's a good addition to be introduced.
Yeah.
Well, I'm playing Pathfinder too, like, and that I've got because I've had some experience in that.
Pathfinder 2e?
No.
Oh, Pathfinder First Edition. Yeah, that's you're gonna have a lot simpler, a lot easier time learning 5th edition than he will have learning Pathfinder First Edition, because First Edition is a logistics nightmare.
Yeah, we've been playing it for a year though, so I mean, I feel like I got pretty much all that now.
I'm not going to trash talk Pathfinder 1E, but I kind of want to trash talk Pathfinder 1E.
I like it. I ran a game in it for like a long time.
So many choices that there's too many choices.
One of my major issues with it.
We're waiting on Brian to get back. How's everyone's day going?
No, I'm back.
He's back.
Shit, I posted that like fucking 5 minutes ago.
While we're waiting on Phantom to get back, no, he's back. Fuck.
I'm not
Get
back yet.
to work, Chaz.
Okay. All right, hang on. I gotta get back into character. Similar variations of the same Cockney accent. All right. Now, where were we?
Talking about how this place is really strange, and you were telling me about how your negotiations were going smoothly but weirdly.
Yeah, what things do they want? Like, what are we? So, like, they got a lot of plants and vegetables and stuff, right? And what are we trading them, or what are you trading?
We're trading them. We're trading them some metal. We are hoping.
Metal.
Yes, metal. We're hoping that we can establish a relationship in which we provide them with iron and gold and other things that they can use for tools.
Were you able to gauge like how badly they need this metal? Because like we were talking to the bartender lady, Aura, I think it was, and she told us she seemed like they told us they were pretty desperate for metal.
Well, they need
Yeah.
weapons.
She said something about weapons. Why? What are they going to war?
No. There's some things in the woods. Personally, I think it's goblins, but it could be something else. Especially given... Well, in either case, there's an opportunity for you to make some more money here, but I didn't want to volunteer you without your permission.
What, they want us to kill some goblins? I'm good at killing goblins.
They want you to hunt some of the things in the woods and bring back a corpse. You have proper weapons. You have proper training. You could do it. There's 25 gold apiece in it for you if this goes well. If you'll take the job.
Wait.
What
So
if
you want
I
us to go
bring
on the
them
hunt
back
wood and
alive?
hunt what?
Well, I don't know. That's the problem. There's something out there. There's something
problem.
There's something very obviously out there. He told me of finding evidence, dead animals of something, hunting in ways it did not need to hunt, killing in ways that were very obviously for show or play rather than food. Whatever it is getting closer to the village, and he wants it dead. And therefore, I want it dead. And therefore, twice, there's gold in it for you. But that's only if you accept. You didn't come out here to do hunting, so I'm not going to force it. But it would smooth negotiations over considerably.
Well, if it'll help move things along, I don't see why not.
Well, I think we might want to ask the mayor about this too, right? Before we just go on it. Like, does he have any more details than you?
I'm not sure what he'll share and what he has, but you're free to talk to him. He's a much more pleasant fellow after he's relaxed a bit.
Oh, what's he drinking?
And
No, it's more... Grier looks a bit uncertain and says, once he's certain you're not a threat, he's more amenable to whatever it is you want to talk about.
I fear he may think we're already threats.
Why?
Well, we were very interested in his church, and he didn't seem interested in telling us anything. Terrell here seems extra interested.
People are entitled to their secrets, you realize.
Of course, but I have never known a secret religion that is a good thing. Have you?
Grier nods and says, you have a point, but it is not our problem. Our job is to get food for Kirill. Your job is to ensure that I'm safe and make things go smoothly if I need it, if you like. His job is to provide us with what we want.
Do you feel safe here at the town hall?
Yes. He's made no moves to harm me. I've seen no indication that he intends to harm me. These people are... Whatever it is that's getting closer to this town, they very much want gone, and I think they'll do whatever it takes to ensure they are safe. So as long as that's on the table, I think I'm got diplomatic immunity, so to speak.
That seems fair enough. I like that. Just, do the jobs required of us, and don't ask questions. That's good. I'm used to
You do
that.
your
I like that.
If you do your job and I do mine, we all walk away from this much richer.
I'm like, hey, sounds like a paladin. Don't ask any questions. All right. Well, we gotta ask others.
Sure, certainly.
Any leads? Which way should we head in the woods to check this out? Anyone who knows more, we could ask that you know of.
I thought we were gonna hit up the mayor after the
Oh
group.
yeah, the mayor.
The mayor said the last sort of sighting of the animal corpses was to the south, proper south. We came from east. I'm sorry, the west. We came from the west. If you head south from here through the forest, you should find evidence of these creatures' presence. If you search it out, perhaps you can find its location or their location. There could be more than one.
Yeah, seems pretty straightforward. I think we should
Sounds good,
go
Grier.
group up and see what everyone thinks.
Okay. All right.
Not you got any input? Or are you good?
I just noticed that.
I like how he ended up accidentally naming himself after a Critical Role character.
Yeah, for sure.
I also like how he's apparently not there.
You like that?
Yeah, no, I'm kidding. I don't.
Back to the tavern. I'm sure they've
Papa?
eaten their share of bacon by now.
Apotham, you there?
Hello? Can you hear me?
I can hear you now.
Hello.
Yeah, I think I've got some latency or something because I'm watching my ping spike. The connection I'm on isn't very stable. So anyway,
Okay.
The rum is gone.
Say what?
The rum is gone.
Yes, back at the tavern.
No, I'm kidding. I actually still have more rum.
Not the breakfast rum.
Do you mix it with orange juice? I don't know.
So back at the tavern. Meanwhile, while this conversation is going on, Immelrith and Dorman and Gray are still at the tavern, correct?
Yes.
You're seated at the bar, maybe? Is that kind of where you probably find yourself talking to Aura?
At the bar, but probably in the corner, reading from a book.
Okay.
If he's reading from a book, then I'll probably be at a table.
You're reading from a book, Immelrith. When you see a wrinkled hand appear over the edge of the book and sort of tug it down, so you're staring at a very short old man. He appears to be a dwarf, with a very gaunt face, almost unnaturally gaunt for a dwarf. And he says, "What are you reading?"
I instinctively pull the book back, and it's that same black book that I had set out in my bedroom the previous evening before I started meditating. And I don't even entertain the question. I say, "Can I help you?"
That depends. What are you reading? He's looking at you through these watery blue eyes, and he has like a thick, gray, scraggly beard that reaches down his. Oh, not thick and scraggly. It's messy. It's ratty, reaching down towards his chest. He's wearing the same sort of sackcloth clothing that everyone else is wearing in the town, and he says, "Just want to know what you're eating. That's all."
Honestly, what I'm reading is no business of yours, friend. And I'd appreciate it. I'm sorry, go ahead.
We're not friends yet.
No, of course we're not friends. That was just a courtesy.
He grins at you, and you can see he's missing several teeth, and he says, "You don't see a lot of books in Decus Bend, is all. I was just curious what was in that one."
This particular book, friend, is a private volume of a dear friend of mine. And the contents are not for you.
Any of them heretical?
I'm gonna walk up to this guy as he's talking to him, and I'll place a hand on his shoulder, kind of gingerly, and I'll say, "And what do you know about heresy?"
When you touch him, he reels backward as though you'd struck him. And he sort of backs up against the bar and causes a mug to fall over. And he says, "Don't you touch me, heathen!"
Whoa. No one's speaking any kind of heresy here. We're just friendly.
During the scene.
Yeah.
I visibly have no reaction to this, this like flailing about that this dwarf does.
Your mask's expression doesn't change.
Exactly. And like my body language doesn't change either.
I say, listen, friend.
I'll read the chat.
we're not there, bro. This is a meanwhile situation.
Oh, god damn it. Ruined it.
We're still like talking with Grier.
Oh, you're no fun.
I clap the book shut after he stumbles back against the wall. What did you say?
Against the bar and sort of
Against
knocks
the bar.
over a mug.
Okay, so I'll snap my book shut and stand up off my stool, and I'll say, your strange religion is truly no interest of mine.
Strange religion is the truth. The truth of the bounty. Who do you worship, reader?
I turn away.
Flying from his mouth and like gathering in his beard as he stares at you again through these wide, watery blue eyes, and he says, "Who do you worship?"
I'll wipe my face indignantly with my hand and clear it of all his spittle and salivers, and turn away and walk off, shaking my head because he's not worth it.
He follows you. He stomps after you and says, "Oh, is it a what? Is it a what you worship? Is it money? You'll never have enough. Is it beauty? You'll never look good enough." Damn it. Sorry. 1 second.
Nice in character cough though.
Yeah, I was convinced there for a
Is
second.
this guy okay? Like,
is it beauty? You'll never look good enough. Is it magic? You'll never be powerful enough. What is it?
And powerful enough, I'll turn around and put my finger up against his chest and try and force him back up against the wall. And I'll say, "You know nothing." I'm sorry, go ahead.
Roll me either a strength check or an intimidation check, whichever you prefer.
I'll assist him in this intimidation.
Roll with advantage.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, advantage 6 or 4.
Nice.
He is not remotely moved. In fact, he charges even closer to you and says, You'll worship something, and it should be the truth. It should be the bounty. It should be the plenty. It should be the promise. But you won't worship that. Not with your books. Not with your lies. By this point, Ara has floated over towards the end of the bar, and she says, Renza, down. Stop it. No, that's not her voice. Renza, down. Stop it. Come on. You don't... No. That stop it, or I'll throw you out.
Yeah, I look visibly like shaken and surprised and shocked, and I'm like looking at Dorman like, hello? A little help, please, compadre.
Doorman is observing this with his head tilted to one side. His hands are hidden under his robes. He will approach.
Renzer, by the way, backs off as Gray makes an intimidation check.
Oh, that silent intimidation. Do it, baby.
Kind of moves in a little bit closer, and Renzer backs off a little bit. But as Dorman approaches, what happens?
I don't know. I don't want to reveal that just yet. So Dorman is going to approach, and he's probably going to dart forward and push his masked face very close to Renzo's. He's going to whisper, I worship the bounty of nature.
Renzo looks much less certain of himself, and he's sort of stumbling back between Aura threatening to throw him out and Gray bearing down on him. He appears to be frightened almost, but he stands his ground as best he can and says, nature lies. Cold one day, hot the next, harvests lost to the winter,
Nature,
birds lost to the summer. There
nature
is no bounty in nature, not on its own.
Dorman's fingers twist under his robes as I cast Thaumaturgy, and the sound of crows in the distance is heard. Nature is the only real truth we have.
I wouldn't go saying that in this town, Renzo says. I wouldn't go saying that here.
Oh, why?
Masked fiends, the lot of you, outsiders! And Ara says, that's enough. Renzo, leave. And Renzo snarls at you all, like just his mouth curled in this awful sneer, missing teeth, sort of what teeth he has almost poking over his bottom lip, what's visible of it beneath the ratty beard. And then he turns and stalks out of the bar.
Sorry, I was not casting that. I'm looking at details.
Oh, you're fine. Bare feet slapping against the wood as this sackcloth dwarf sort of makes his way out of the bar and disappears out into the city square or the town square.
I not so stealthily follow him.
You see him. He gets outside and he is furious. You see him ranting incoherently and throwing his hands up and oh, so they don't understand. They don't understand that the heretics bringing a book into town. It doesn't belong here. It doesn't belong. They don't belong here. And he's snarling and raving his way over toward the well, where he sort of stops and stares at it for a second. He goes quiet and he stops and stares at the well for a second. And he says, yeah, you're right. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. Oh, God is. And he goes and spits in the well and then walks away from it. He heads to what appears to be a set of residences across the way there, and he glares at you because he absolutely sees you.
Yeah.
He absolutely sees you. He glares at you as he passes and says, Don't talk to me any further, fiend, demon. And then he continues to walk away from you. It's about this point that the rest of the group reapproaches the tavern and sees Gray Malikov standing outside. How does that interaction go?
I wave hello in a very quiet way. I just
You
go,
guys probably
hello.
saw Renzo yell at Gray, and then walk off.
Maybe I don't say hello then. I just sort of try not to make eye contact and go inside.
Yeah, what was going on there? You guys all right?
Who are you asking this to?
To Gray, right? You're outside with the guy.
Yeah. He said you guys, though.
Oh, okay. I
That's-
thought there was more than one of you, but okay.
No, it's just me. So, yeah, Gray just looks at you, and there's like this awkward pause as he asks this question. And he speaks up and says, he was yelling at one of your friends for reading a book.
That makes me nervous.
Yes.
This entire place should make you nervous.
No, just the book reading part.
Do you have something against books?
No, actually, it's willful ignorance that I have something against. People can act as strange as they want, but there's a big difference between someone just being weird and someone being dangerous. And willful ignorance is the conduit to being dangerous. Creates narrow minds and clouded judgment more often than not.
Sometimes the most educated can also be the most crazy.
Mm-hmm. But at least they have an objective. Most of the time, at least.
You are interesting. Not many share their objectives, much less people that are smart.
Hmm.
Inside the tavern, Immelrith and Dorman, you see that people have been watching this. People in the sackcloth clothes, in particular, have been watching this unfold with some interest. But the moment Renzo leaves, they all kind of go back to their food without really saying much. Ara sighs and says, He gets like comes in here and gets drunk so early in the day. I don't know how he gets through his workday. I'm sorry for him. Are you all right, Immelrith?
I stand up and brush myself off and secure my belongings. And I say, drunk? Workday? What does that oaf do in town?
He works in the fields, and sometimes he cleans the church. Or I keep getting your voice wrong. He works in the fields, and sometimes he cleans the church, I think.
I wouldn't see him fit to clean my boots.
He's zealous, even for Decus Bend.
Zealots are rarely the most rational of people.
No, I'd agree with you. At any rate, I think your friends are back, and everyone kind of enters the tavern at this point. So you're all together. Where does it go from there? What do you say to each other?
What's up?
I'm gonna notice that Morath is upset, and I'm gonna like go over there, and I'm gonna like kind of keep my cat distance, but it's pretty clear I want to scritch.
When I sit down at the bar, and I look down, and I see the cat just like looking up at me, and the cat eyes are all super big. I just like pull the bar stool out next to me and pat it. Like, up, Oscar.
Jump right up. I found out some work.
I hold up my hand and I slap the bar. I put 2 fingers up, and I hope that Aura knows that means two whiskeys, please.
She quickly provides.
I hold up the shot glass. Work. Go on. And I down it.
I'm gonna lap it carefully, but yeah, we've got with Grier at the town hall. He says that the mayor here has a job for us. There's something in the woods to the south, killing stuff without any reason. It's not hunting or anything. They don't know what it is that's actually hunting either, but they need us to kill it. I said 25 gold apiece if we're in for it.
We've already been contracted to protect an idiot. Now you want me to go hunt a mystery monster for 25 gold.
Well, the idiot says he's safe, and that hunting the mystery monster would be good for the diplomacy department.
Oh, the idiot's safe. Well, golly gee. That's just a load off my mind. All right. 25 gold. Saddle up.
So I'm gonna break character just for a second to say that the normal human person in me is like, you know, when you say things like scritch or once scritches or laps up things, is like, you know, you do you know, just live your best life, play characters however you want to play. But then there's that inner voice, which is the space wolf in me, the space Viking that just says purge.
For people with no context, Space Wolves are a chapter of Warhammer 40k Marines.
And they're
Yeah.
all furries.
No, they are not.
I mean, I
They
don't
are
know.
space Vikings, and you live right above me, and I will kick down your door with a sword.
I will hold to this for the rest of my life, and I have a shillelagh. Come at me, bro.
That's fine. You can be wrong. As long as you know that you were wrong. Anyway, back to the game.
So, Aura has gotten everybody drinks and all that. So yeah, what does the party decide about the incident in the woods?
I think so. Imorith, after has said he's up for it after in his own particular style. By the way, I love Imorith. I want to be very clear about that. He is the perfect asshole of the group, and I love him to death.
Thank you, I mean that.
Like I legit love characters like him. I don't know why. It's just they're so much fun, especially when they like drop the asshole exterior for 5 seconds to be nice to somebody, like you with fucking Oscar. Anyway, so we've done that. Dorman has been quiet as he normally is because I'm not good at this right now, but he is going to nod and say, well, gold is gold, and this may give us an idea of why things are so strange around here.
Well, we know the mayor's being weird, and we know he wants us to help kill some animal in the woods. I mean, I'm not sure how the two are connected, but
A strange animal doing strange things. Attacking a town, doing strange things.
what
It's
do you
not
think? We could probably. Oh, you said you saw the mayor creeping around last night, Alex. I mean, not.
Yes, that's correct.
I had
Did
an
you
interesting
see where he
dream.
went? Maybe we could check that out, or we could check out the animal in the woods. Maybe either way.
I described where I saw him go and what's going on, and where I saw him wander about in the general direction.
As a bit of a side note, I would request that none of us here drink from the well in the town.
That's kind of a given.
Yeah, you don't have to worry about that. Nothing
think it's-
gives me the creeps.
Think it's
I
poisoned
had
or
a-
something?
Well, I had a dream about it.
Aura,
Yeah.
who has been hearing this, says, you dreamed about the well?
He glances over and nods.
What did you dream?
Something came out of it. Something pale and not entirely human looking.
I see. Never had that dream before.
I have many strange dreams.
Yeah, it's pretty creepy. Okay. You've convinced me to not drink from the well.
No, there's plenty of booze at least, so and you can always drink from the river.
You cut out there for a moment.
There's plenty of booze, she says, smiling, and you can always drink from the river.
Running water is normally relatively clean, so certainly. Well, shall we finish our breakfast and then go?
You guys are still eating bacon?
Bacon is delicious.
How many drinks have you had today?
Oh yeah, I'm
I-
pretty deep.
I put bacon in here specifically for Matt.
Oh yeah, by the way, now that things have calmed down, he's been spending the past 10 minutes just taking a piece of bacon, drawing it under his robes, and you can see the mask moving as he chews.
It's hilarious. All we've done is we've all had like 2 drinks and bacon and eggs.
All right, so where was the creature last heard of?
No, they said it was in the south. Maybe we should find the mayor and ask him. I don't know, or we could just head out in the woods. You ever hunted creatures?
From time to time.
That sounds good enough for me.
Yeah, that sounds
Yeah, I'm pretty tipsy by this point, so I'm just like, fuck, let's go.
Okay. Just a tick.
We'll kill it. Never fear.
Actually, let's take a 5-minute break so that I can use the restroom and kind of rest my voice a little bit.
Cool.
And also so I can do a little bit of loading screen stuff. So 5-minute break. It's 9:24 CST where I am at the moment.
Nice.
Let's meet back here at 9:30.
CST.
Is everybody doing okay, by the way? Are we all pretty awake and still can keep going?
I'm good.
Keep
Yeah.
going.
You
I might be playing some Plague Incorporated on the side, or maybe a little bit of Call of Duty, but I'm here.
Okay. All right. We'll be back in just a few minutes. Speaking of Decus, are y'all headed now to see the mayor?
I'm headed to drinking more rum.
Yes, to the mayor.
Okay. Potham, you kind of guide folks to where you saw the mayor go in, and again, this looks like a residence. You guys are over here.
There, I found it. I found the meme. There you go. It's in the chat.
What do you do?
This was like the weird house that we saw the mayor fucking with? Or we saw him disappear near?
I investigate to try to find any evidence of foot traffic of the mayor, or what the house over here is.
Here, are there any windows? Like appear in the windows.
Yeah, that too.
Nosy neighbor.
Okay. Your investigation check turns up that this house right here appears to be a residence for a few people. It looks like it's there are 2 doors on the bottom floor and a set of stairs on one side of the house leading up to another set of 2 doors on the top floor, each of which appears to be in a small apartment inside.
Okay. What about to the left?
Peering into those windows reveals a couple of rooms. One is a bedroom. The other appears to be some kind of living room with several chairs and a table. I should say like a conference room almost, with several chairs and a long table, sort of set in the center of the room.
Okay.
What's the plan, boys? B&E?
I don't think we need to be any, honestly.
Nobody has tried to knock.
This is completely ridiculous. And I just stride straight up the stairs and rap on the door 3 times.
Well, you just want to make sure you know what you're getting yourself into.
That works too, I guess.
Okay. You which house are you knocking on the door for?
Leftmost house.
Okay. You head up and to the door and you just sort of rap on it a little bit. How does Immelrith knock? Let's get into the real deep lore. How does Immelrith knock on a door?
With absolute confidence. It's not so much a knock as it is a summon.
That's the perfect description. God, I love you. All right. You rap on the door, and it is a moment before you see someone appear in the window next to the door. It is Decius, who stares at you for a moment before coming to the door and opening it. He is almost too tall to fit in the doorway, and looms there in said doorway, watching you for a moment before he says, "Can I help? I'm sorry. Can I help you?"
I'd certainly hope so. It seems we've been conscripted to hunt a beast in your forest.
There's Grier told you of that. Good. Have you agreed to do it?
Would I be here otherwise?
I see your Corellians are as polite as you are prompt. Come inside. And he disappears inside the house towards the living room with the conference table in it.
Come in, lads. And I assume we file in?
Yep. You kind of file in and sit it. There's enough chairs at the table for all of you. And he seats himself at the head of the table and says, "So, to business. We live in peaceful woods. There are hunters out in the woods, bears, wolves on occasion, but they stay away from town, and the evidence of their preying is obvious. It's very clear to us." I'm trying to get his voice down, so if it changes a couple times, I apologize. It's very clear to us when these creatures have done their hunting. As of late, I have found mutilated animal corpses closer to the town than I'd like, splayed out, their skin flayed, their bodies spread in obvious displays of some kind. It is not a welcome gesture.
This is not a very welcoming proposition.
Say again?
I said, and this is not a very welcoming proposition.
But it is a profitable one.
I don't argue.
I don't know if it's someone playing tricks or some kind of creature. It could be goblins, it could be any number of things. But there is something sapient out in those woods, and I don't know what it is. And it's getting closer, braver. I found a tortured rabbit not half a mile from the village in the woods to the south. Not 3 days past.
Sounds like we need to lay some traps.
Could be. Our attempts to deal with this have laid bare our inefficiencies in our approach. We have always been a people who use as little that does not come from the earth as possible. We do not have a blacksmith. We do not mine for ore. Our weapons have come from travelers who came through and sold them to us, but they are insufficient for dealing with the threat, and that has become obvious to me. I do not have enough men to send galloping into the woods in search of whatever's out there, not with any reliability, and I can't afford to lose them. Moreover, I can't afford to lose their equipment. Not yet.
Okay.
The relationship with Kirill will provide us with metal for weapons, so that we may defend ourselves if another situation like this arises. But in the meantime, and he gets this sort of half grin on his face, and you notice that he's kind of staring at you like confidently, like there's less of that anger and more of that certainty, that sort of aura of command about him. And he says, in the meantime, it would help if someone who did have weapons, who had some training and some capability, were to sort this out for us, or at least give us an idea of what's out there.
Well, we were coming to you to try and get an idea of what was out there, but okay, you don't have an idea, so
No.
Do you have a cleric or anybody that can give us some potions or spells that can help us with this? We might be able to set up a trap or something.
We do not.
May have a paladin in the party.
Yeah, but potions, man.
I'm a spelly boy, though.
What are you trying to say?
Decius says finally, there is precious little that our religion could provide you, I'm afraid. We don't delve much into magical ingredients nor miracles. Our miracles are in the fields behind you and beside you. Our magic is in the earth. Our bounty is present in the soil. So no, you'll have to make do with what you have, I'm afraid.
Okay.
no opposition. We're
Yes,
we're
yes.
leaving. We're headed to the south.
Decius, it's been a pleasure, man. We got this. Don't worry.
I shall try to hang on. I shall try to stifle my anxiety, said Decius, and definitely not Ches, because that Ches could never fucking attempt that. So yeah, so you're headed south?
Yeah.
As we're headed out of the house, I quietly mutter to the party. Are you sure you don't want to break into the other? You were so damn interested before.
Well, we found the mayor, We got a quest. Where there's a quest, there's a cat that needs solving it.
Yeah, we marching through town. We head south.
Okay. Give me just a minute. Okay. So you head south into the forest.
SWAT
It
us.
is, it is not a long trip before you start spotting the evidence that Decius was referring to. There is a pair of dissected squirrels lying in a small clearing just about half a mile south of town. These look like recent work. The blood is still. The smell of decay has not given way to the smell of. The smell of decay is strong, but it has not sort of faded yet. So.
Oh.
Are we still on village map, or do I need to reload?
No, you're here. You're good. Can y'all see the new map?
Yep.
See.
Yep.
Yep.
All right. Disgusting squirrel corpses.
Yes, there are two dissected squirrels on the ground.
Is it a rather busy forest? Could somebody try and check for footprints, tracks of some kind? Any specifically big, violent creatures? Or I'll try and do it. Fuck it, I'm an elf. But you see, I'm like a sheltered elf, though.
I should probably try as well.
That would be a survival check.
Yeah,
Oh, wait.
you are completely right, excuse me.
Oh. Well, I fail it.
I
Where's
don't know if
that?
that would be survival investigation. That's up to Chaz.
I'm going to say survival. And Immelrith, you are. It is clear that some footprints have come and gone here. It looks to be one humanoid and some other strange footprints you don't really recognize. They look like clawed feet that have approached these two squirrels and then left. The strange thing is, it looks like the humanoid footprints approached and the clawed feet departed.
I convey this information to the party, and I ask, do we really want to follow this? Is this what we were paid for?
Well,
Kinda. Yes, my good
so
sir.
we will be paid for.
I kind of chime up and say, paid?
Carry on, gentlemen. So yeah, can we try and track these footprints? Do I need to re-roll? Or is
No.
anybody in our party naturey?
Well, the clawed footprints head this way. Can you guys see that?
Yes.
Come, comrades. Let us follow the path.
I want to slowly approach the what is that, like a broken down tower?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not
There's a
slowly
ruin-
approaching nothing. I'm just walking.
There's a ruined tower here. It appears to have been like some sort of sentry tower or watchtower or something. It's a 2-floored tower. The roof is entirely gone. And and most of the second floor is destroyed, but there's still a walkable portion, about 15, or I don't know, 10 feet up. The bottom floor appears to have been some sort of storeroom. There were some smashed crates and barrels, long discarded, scattered about the stone floor of this tower.
Now I want to try and take a quick peek around, make sure I can not see anybody. In hiding something.
Okay,
I'd actually like to do a full investigation of this place if I can.
sure.
Want to roll that?
Yes.
Fuck you.
Your investigation does not turn up much, just broken barrels and crates.
I become really fascinated by like the ruined remains of a book that I find, not realizing that it's a cookbook.
What the hell? I
There's a
investigate the
deformed
ruined
penis on the board.
remains.
Hey, I promise I did not draw that one.
Whoa.
No, that was Big J.
No, actually, it was not me. I'm not that good a drawer.
Yes, it was because it matches your color. Oh wait,
You busted his fuck.
That's funny. Roll the 1 on that deception check, Jay. All right. Hang on just a tick. Yeah. Dorman, where do you get to by the time you finish investigating?
I'm like in the tower, I think. Like I'm like here.
Okay. I need you to make me a Constitution saving throw with disadvantage.
Delightful.
That is a fail.
So what happens?
You take 5 necrotic damage.
Ouch.
You are standing there reading trying to read this ruined book you've picked up, when you feel a horrible burning pain wrench through your chest and then down into your stomach. And you maybe reach your hand down there and you can feel that something under your robes is wet.
I am going to kind of stagger back out if I can.
Okay.
And I think when I bring my hand back up, I look and I'm assuming I see blood on my hand, on my gloved hand.
You see some blood mixed with something that looks like black ichor.
I will rasp out, stay out of the tower. There's something there.
Apollo, make me a perception check, please. Damn. All right. No, you see it. You spot this creature crouched among the crates. At first, it has the silhouette of a humanoid. But before your eyes, you hear a sort of sound as it begins to.
I draw my weapon and charge it.
It begins to transform. The thing you see in the darkness that alerted you to it was a pair of bright green eyes. The thing that you watch those green eyes hover in the dark as the silhouette around it changes and shifts within the span of seconds, and then the eyes meld into one large one, giving you a baleful stare. And
One could say it's glaring at us in a specific manner.
absolutely.
I also don't think that Gray is on this map.
Oh, oops. Hang on.
Oh no! Where have I gone? I was on the map.
You're back there, like still day drinking.
And you see this.
Oh, fuck me.
And I need a Constitution saving throw from Not before he charges. Botham.
Huh? Oh, right. Sorry. What was that?
I need a Constitution saving throw before you charge.
Ugh.
Also, I guess I dipped out because I wasn't getting paid for this.
No, hang on. I'll put your map, token on the map. You take 15 necrotic damage.
Fuck.
So I die.
Are you unconscious?
I have 8 hit points.
Oh yeah, he's dead.
How do you have 8 hit
You're supposed
points?
to be level
We're
2,
level
my dude.
2.
Oh, I still die.
Yeah, he's dead.
No, roll your hit points, please.
What? Wait,
Roll
you
me
want
a
me to?
D8 plus 1 in the chat, please. 5. Okay.
Yeah, I totally died because that means I only have 14 hit points. I totally died.
No, 14 hit points? Nah, fam. You're good. You unconscious. If you had 8 hit points, though, yeah, you'd totally be dead.
My God.
So, yeah, no, you are. So what you all see is Apotham wrench back in pain, a scream erupting from his throat, as where his skin might be visible, you see streaks of like this shadow crawl across his skin, and wounds begin to open up on his body, and he falls backward, shocked into unconsciousness by the pain. And now we're going to clear the initiative and roll initiative.
Nice. Also, I'm bad at math because I was totally wrong. Yeah, you would be alive even if you had 8 hit points. You'd just be unconscious. You have to have double. You have to have your double your total hit points to be able to be killed in 1 hit. Essentially, the amount of damage done to you in negatives has to equal your total hit points, which literally only ever happens at low levels.
Don't try to book this at the bright side. Apotham needs to learn his lesson, not to peek his head in first to a bunch of places.
Oh, yeah, sure.
He does this in the Pathfinder game all the time too.
Yeah, if you want. I mean, you're paying the wrong class for that, but if you want.
All right, I've got
Wait, I
initiative
thought the
rolls
rogue
from
was supposed
Immelrith,
to.
who should have a 22.
I didn't have it selected.
I have an initiative roll from Dorman, Oscar, and Terrell, and Immelrith. I need an initiative roll from Apotham, and I need to get Gray's token on the goddamn board.
God damn.
Gray's token is now on the goddamn board. Put yourself where you want, Gray.
There we go. Cool.
It says
Uh,
token
by
supposed to be
default.
gray.
Of like 0 initiative right now because I'm dead.
You're not
Roll
dead.
initiative anyway.
You're unconscious. There is a difference.
There we go.
Yep. All right. We start off with Immelrith.
Nabopotham just went down, crying in pain.
Yep.
So
You guys can
I'm
clearly
actually
see the Nothic now. That huge green eye is obvious in the shadows under that ruined floor.
all right. So I am just going to step up 5 feet and try and witch bolt the Nothic.
Okay. Roll it. That is a hit, and you deal 7 lightning damage to the Nothic.
Excellent. I'm just gonna hold there and hold concentration on the spell.
Got it. The Nothic is actually going to turn its gaze on you, and I need a Constitution saving throw. That does it, actually. That'll do it. You are safe.
Thank God.
You fight back the bile that rises in your throat at the sensation that the gaze causes in you, but it can't seem to overpower you in the way that it tried to overpower Dorman and overpowered Apothom. Dorman, it is your turn.
Okay, I'm going to step over so that I'm astride Apothom, and that means so I'm kind of shielding him as best as I can.
Gotcha.
Well, fuck it. And I whip out my casting rod and I point it at the Nothic. And I snarl something in Sylvan, and everything within a 20-foot cube centered on him is going to be outlined in dancing blue fireflies.
Okay, he needs to roll a dexterity saving throw, correct?
Yes. Motherfucker.
He is he is not he doesn't he seems to have he evades their attempts to land on him.
Okay. In that case, I'm immediately going to drop concentration on that because that was the only thing I really had going, and I will instead bonus action, or not instead, but I will as well cast Hex on him.
Okay.
So the fairy fire dies away because that didn't work. Instead, those black lashing vines curl around it.
Got it. All right. Gray, it is your turn.
It's both my spell slots.
Gray gestures his hands up into arcane motions, and then there is rubble on the ground that's in front of the beast right over here, right?
I'm sorry, say again.
Rubble. There's rubble on the ground that's in front of the beast right here, right?
Yeah, there's some. It's not a high enough pile to like obscure it.
Yeah, but it's like there's rubble within there that weighs at least a maximum of 5 pounds, but
Yes.
cool. That rubble levitates off of the ground and then is hurled towards the creature. It needs to make a dexterity 13 saving throw.
Got you. It passes.
Okay, it flies harmlessly past the creature, striking the wall behind it, dealing damage to the wall.
Okay. Gonna move or anything?
Nope, I'm good.
Apothom, make a death saving throw for me, please. Please mark one failure on your sheet.
Bum, bum, bum.
I'm sorry, Oscar Meow. It's your turn.
Oscar Meow's gonna kind of sigh, and then I'm gonna look over at my dying friend, and I can't let my friend die, so I'm gonna cast Healing Word on him with my bonus action.
All right, Apothom. What does that look like when you cast that? Do you like play a tune?
Oh yeah, I think I definitely I would like pull out my flute, kind of like toot a couple notes, and like some magical notes would fly over there, and
Okay.
that is my bonus action. I don't think I can Bardic Inspiration because that's also a bonus action.
Yep.
Yeah.
No.
Okay, that's weird, but I'll allow it. So that was a bonus action. Then I'm gonna move up some and get some sight on this guy, and I'm gonna use a cantrip called Vicious Mockery. I'm gonna, call him real disgusting, slimy, and gross. And he has to make a Wisdom save DC 13.
Okay. Fails. Not once, actually. Roll double damage.
So he takes 2. I'll roll. Okay.
2d4.
So I rolled the 1, so it's the 2 and then the 3, so 5 total.
Yep.
And he also has disadvantage on the next attack.
Okay.
That's it for me.
Terrell, Sunbringer, bring us the sun.
All right. Well, since Not is back up and conscious, I believe, we're just going to charge straight on in here. So we're going to go 1,
Oops, sorry.
2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to get right up in this monster's face.
It snarls at you. Its sinuous greenish gray body twisted in a position of defense, crouching as it prepares to lunge at you.
Your foul scent is over in this world, creature.
That is a hit. You want a divine smite?
Fuck yeah.
All right, roll 2d8. 20 goddamn damage.
Paladin OP.
You strike an incredibly decisive blow against this creature. What does your divine smite look like? What color is it? What happens when you do it?
Piercingly blindingly white. So, like, as I swing back, it's normal, but as soon as the blade touches the creature, whatever it may be, just like this explosion of blinding white radiance.
It overwhelms that shadowy corner of the tower for a moment, pouring out through the floorboards of the ruined floor above, before it fades, and you see that the creature has this massive wound in its side that it's got one claw kind of over, and it's you can hear like the of labored breathing. And Immelrith, it is your turn.
I can still deal my lightning damage, can I? That's not considered total cover just because he's in front of the monster, right?
Right. No, you can still do lightning damage. So roll your d12.
Yay, 3 lightning damage.
You pulse electricity down the line between you. It hits the monster and it wrenches back in sort of a little bit of pain, but it seems to hold itself steady and still crouched in that position. And I need Terrell to roll me a Constitution saving throw.
Yuck.
All right. You take 13 necrotic damage as this gaze lands on you, and then he, with disadvantage on his next attack, right?
He does,
Yes.
yeah. Vicious mockery.
He stumbles forward and tries to claw at you, hoping to finish you off. After that, black shadow rushes across your skin, and you see wounds opening up across your. You can feel wounds opening up across your body under your armor. He tries to claw you once. He misses, and then tries again, and crits for 11 damage.
Jeez.
And I think that puts you unconscious.
Yes, I'm at -4.
The Nothic moves forward 10 feet and then hoofs it up these stairs onto the second floor.
Is it still visible?
It is still visible. It looks very bad off.
Okay.
Dorman, it is your turn.
Delightful. I'm going to dart forward a few feet to here. Whirl around, snap my wand out at it, and cast Eldritch Blast. Please hit. Fuck you.
Wait, you have it hexed, don't you?
Yeah. That doesn't give me advantage.
Oh, no, yeah, that's a miss. The blast goes wide and slams into the floor beside it, spewing up pieces of floorboard as it slams into the wall.
He had fairy fire on him, didn't he?
No.
He evaded that.
Yeah, he passed that. That's why I let the fairy fire drop.
Also, in the future, is Hex a leveled spell?
Yes.
You can't cast 2 leveled spells in the same turn.
Yeah, you can't. Yeah, one has to be a cantrip, and
You're
one
right.
has to be a
I'm
bonus
sorry. So
action.
I
two
never.
leveled,
Yeah, I never cast Hex. Then my apologies.
2 leveled spells. Phantom. Cantrips are not leveled.
Yeah. No, what I was saying is like you can cast 2 spells, but one of them has to be a cantrip, and then out of the level spells or the cantrip, one of them has to be a bonus action. Is what I was saying.
Yeah, but that's not what I did, and I fucked up there. So I did not cast Hex.
Gotcha. With that in mind, it is now, unless Dorman wants to move, you already moved. Not, it is your turn. I'm sorry, not. Gray, it's your turn. Can't talk.
Gray moves up, and then with a he pulls a item out of his component pouch, and with gesturing of his hands and whispering of a few arcane words, he casts Sleep.
Okay.
31 hit points worth,
Holy fuck.
centered on the creature. Actually, a little bit past the creature. It's a 20-foot radius, because I don't want to... The other guy's already unconscious, so it's not like it's really going to affect him at all, but...
The creature tumbles to it goes to its knees first, scratching at its head, trying to resist the urge. And then it just passes out.
Gray then speaks up and says, I can only hold this spell for a minute. Hurry. Revive your comrade, and then perch yourself above the creature and stab it in its brain.
Apart from now that you're conscious, you can get up for half your movement, and it is now your turn.
I do that, and I go 1, 2, 3, and in my inventory, I think I have a dagger. I sure do, and I chuck it at him.
Okay.
That's a terrible idea, but alright.
Let people play how they want, Phantom.
I mean, it's better than me just standing here and ending my turn.
Not really.
What? Okay.
Okay, so I'll explain later. Not gonna needlessly say exposition that my character did not say, but not a smart move, but go ahead. Do what you want.
Okay. Well, I throw the dagger at it.
Okay. Attack roll.
Well, I don't exactly have this on my sheet. So is it a dexterity attack, or is it
It's a melee attack. It's the same modifiers and everything that you would do for a melee attack. Strength or dexterity, whichever is higher, and then you have disadvantage on the attack roll because the creature is prone.
Oh, it's prone?
Yes, because it's unconscious.
The creature's asleep, by the way.
Yeah.
Alright, well, I'm gonna roll what I have my modifier for everything else. It's not the button I wanted.
You can just click your dagger button.
14.
14 misses. The dagger kind of lands in the stone next to it.
Okay.
If my character is able to, he lets out a sigh of relief.
With that in mind, I will say that we should let people play the way they want.
No, I totally agree. Though, like I said, I'll explain afterwards. But
wait, is it asleep? Did I miss that?
Yes, it is asleep.
Oh.
I put it asleep.
Oh, I thought you
With the
stunned it.
spell, sleep.
Oh, I didn't. Oh, then can I just take a double move then? And too late. Never mind. Whatever.
No, you can take that back. If you weren't aware it was asleep, you could absolutely take that back.
Yeah, I thought that was something else. Yeah, I just walk over here and just stand next to it.
Okay.
And then that's it.
All right. Oscar, it's your turn.
I got another dead friend, so I'm gonna kind of sigh and realize my position in this party, and gonna move over to him and whisper a healing word about how he's a big strong paladin and he can do this.
All right, that brings me to 0.
I don't think you have negative.
What? Wait, no, dude, you don't have negative HP. Your HP
Oh, you
is
don't?
effectively 0. Yeah, you have 4 HP now.
Yeah, you
Oh,
just go to
okay,
0.
sorry.
So if
Yeah.
healing brings you up.
You used to playing Pathfinder 2nd Edition, aren't you?
Yeah.
Oh, that's the
Yeah,
case.
you're getting what we call a edition confusion.
Got it.
And I'm gonna. Oh, it's still sleeping. It's still sleeping, isn't it?
Yeah.
I am not gonna shoot it with a crossbow. I'm gonna hold and that's it. End my turn.
All right, Terrell, you're up.
Stab that thing in the brain.
It takes
Yeah.
half your movement to get up, and you're gonna
Oh,
have
yeah.
to go. You're gonna have to go around Apotham, who's on the stairs.
So I've just as posterity's sake, I have stated my character stated that I can hold the spell for a minute, but until then, like stab it in the brain. Interpret this however you want.
Couldn't we just say we all surround the monster within a minute and just stab it to death?
Yeah, simultaneously. That was what I was going for.
Yeah, I was just gonna get up and then essentially do a double move, which would give me 45 feet. 5,
Yeah.
10, 15, 20. Yeah, how much do you want me to use to get around Apotham?
No, you can just slip past him. You can move through friendly squares, no problem.
All right.
And you just step over the sleeping Nothic. And now 2 of you are positioned on either side of it. If you will please go ahead and roll me attack rolls, both of you, since we're technically out of combat.
Well, everyone else could step in front of it as well, effectively.
There's room for one more person on that ruined floor. Nobody else will be able to get around.
Oh yeah, fair.
Who's next?
It has advantage.
Oh.
Both of you can stab it at the same time.
If somebody else with big weapon wants to step there, because all I got is my magic or a deck.
Actually, those 2 attacks will do it. That is
As long as we are effectively getting the range that we want to. Let's see here.
Apotham, you're a rogue, aren't you?
Yes.
You have sneak attack. Roll me 2d6 extra, please.
Oh.
Yeah, coup de grace his ass.
That will do it. It is you. That eye is closed, and Apotham, you step up, and you just find a spot just under its jaw where you can get that rapier up into its brain. It is a quick motion that sends the eye wide and open again for a moment, trying to turn its gaze on you, but it can't manage it before it just stops moving. And the creature is dead. The tower falls silent.
I stab the creature again.
It does not move.
I stab it one more good time for good measure.
It continues to not move until a few seconds later, that horrible cracking noise begins again. And before
I start running.
The body shifts and twists into that of a young elf.
Oh God, what have I done?
It is a young elven woman in a deep green robe.
Is she dead?
She is absolutely dead.
Oops.
I'm going to take a look around the area to make sure there's nothing else trying to creep up on us.
Can I take what is it,
Guys,
10 minutes to ritual cast detect magic?
Well, hang on. Let me get this sort of knocked out over here.
guys. I think we might have just murdered somebody. And
No, friend. You might have just murdered somebody.
Well, it wasn't somebody when we killed it, right?
Ches,
right, but if we
Yeah.
go back with a body like this and say we found the monster and we try to present this poor dead elven woman, don't you think that might get taken the wrong way?
I mean, we don't
Can
know
I-
this was the monster.
can I roll Arcana to see if I know what might have happened with here? Like if this was an illusion or if this kind of monster is known for transforming after death, like a were
Roll
eye
Arcana.
creature. Not bad.
You recognize that cracking sound and the method of transformation. Between the fact that the elven woman is still wearing her robe and has not like transformed back without losing some of her clothes or something like that, as well as the fact that the wounds on her body are reflected, the wounds and cuts in the robe are reflective of the wounds you inflicted while she was a Nothic. You piece together that this is some kind of like polymorph or wild shape transformation.
Dorman will speak up about that after studying her for a moment, so I'm actually going to go ahead and put him there.
While you're studying her, in the distance, Gray. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to move your token. In the distance, Gray, you spot moving among the trees, not yet interested in the party, a massive boar. It is the biggest animal you've ever, or the biggest boar you've ever seen. It is huge. It is 10 feet tall.
Oh, so like a normal razorback.
Hang on. Now I'm going to go look.
Yeah, Russian boars get the size of like minivans.
Minivans are not 10 feet tall.
Yeah, but they're more than 10 feet long.
I didn't say 10 feet long. I said 10 feet tall.
Fair.
So,
If this thing's 10 feet tall, I can only imagine how long it is.
multiple is the best word to use there.
It's 10 feet tall, but it's only 3 feet long.
Ha!
Just the weirdest fucking proportion boar you've ever seen.
Yeah.
It's like a Minecraft creeper.
Its height is mainly its tusks.
Proportion. Wait, no, that didn't work out like I thought it would.
Can I have
poor abortion.
So, yeah, the boar seems uninterested in the party right now. It's just sort of snuffling around, keeping its distance. So, Dorman, what was your question?
I think you already answered it. This is a polymorph situation. I was just saying that he will speak up about that, telling everyone. I think this woman was polymorphed into this shape, magically shaped into it.
But the question is by what?
Her own power, the power of another. Her robe, does it look familiar, or is there anything I can glean from it with an investigation check?
It has an emblem on it that appears to be a symbol that looks like this. Hang on, I'm sorry.
Can I use this opportunity to touch myself?
What?
Crazy.
Whoa, whoa.
This is a merc,
Yes,
friend.
you
You
may
should always
absolutely
feel
lay
free
on
to touch
hands.
yourself.
Yeah, you could touch yourself whatever you like, as long as it's not in public.
I'm just using 5 of that.
Got you.
I mean, technically, you can touch yourself in public as long as you don't get caught.
When I think about you, I heal myself. Whoa. Anyway.
That is exactly the song that went through my head. That's my next character. I'm gonna make a bard / paladin that sings that song, going around touching people.
Why not just make an Azamar bard?
Because I don't know what that is.
Asamar or Asamar, they are a angelic race that has a special ability, like a racial ability they can use to heal.
Okay, that's what Apotham picked in Tomb of Horrors.
Yeah.
You
Yep,
mean,
it's-
I mean,
it's
Apotham picked
called-
something not a rogue.
Yep.
Yeah, it's called Healing Hands, actually.
I made a Azamar coffee lock. Basically. That had infinite
Yeah, coffee lock.
That shit's already banned, bro.
Yeah, I can't have infinite spell slots. Bear stopped me already.
You can have infinite spell slots. It's just that, with being not sleeping being what it is, you gain a level of exhaustion.
Not with Warlock.
No, you still gain a level of exhaustion.
Do you? Because I thought the
There's a specific thing inside one of the paths of the totem or whatever that allows you to not sleep. But if you don't take a long rest, you can gain a level of exhaustion still, I believe. Because you
super complicated gameplay mechanic.
Yeah, it's a mechanical thing.
Yeah, but I think that's part of the reason why you
So-
go Azamar is because you get the lesser restoration, which lets you remove that status effect from yourself
It's a
anyway.
giant board.
As far as I know,
Yeah.
Well,
As far-
let's have this discussion after the game, please.
yeah, for sure.
But Dorman, you find this emblem, a sort of leftward arrowhead with a small arch curving into it, with several strokes above the arch. It looks almost like an eye, or perhaps a sun descending into a valley.
Okay, that's interesting. Yeah, okay. I'm going to cut that emblem free with cut it out off with a dagger and keep a hold of that.
Add a small. And I should also note that the emblem is laid in sort of gold colors. So I will show you the emblem now because I accidentally left it on the wrong layer. There you go. That's what it looks like.
Oh, Nito Toledo.
Interesting.
So yeah, I'll draw that and give it to you in like a handout or something later. You now have a piece of robe or a piece of garment with a symbol on it.
Okay.
Can I check out the giant creepy boar? Does it look,
Absolutely.
Threatening?
Well, walk over to it and roll an animal handling check.
Oh shit.
Yeah, I'm just gonna move over
have to get
here.
No, you don't have to get next to it. You have to get a little bit closer, though.
Yeah, let's move a little bit further over here.
Super tentatively,
And
stepwising towards it as close as I can.
Okay.
I mean, as far as I can.
Roll me an animal handling check.
and let's get up here on the second
Nice.
level. And all right, I think we're good.
Yeah, it doesn't. It looks up, sort of stares at you for a second, and then continues snuffling around. It appears to be searching for something on the ground.
That is a big boar.
It is
It-
massive.
It's searching for truffles. You should name the boar Truffles and befriend it.
I hiss over, mount the boar.
No, I'm not.
Zozo, Oscar, mount the boar.
I got so many lives to work with over here.
As most of the party has moved up into the tower, the boar continues snuffling around for a little bit and then eventually starts to walk off.
None of you can see me, but I'm giving the thumbs up. Like in real life.
And eventually
Just for
the boar
clarification.
disappears into the woods.
So now that I'm up by this thing, could I roll Arcana check on it?
Sure.
Chow. That do the thing? It did. It did it horribly, but yes, it did the thing.
There's not much else you can piece together about it that Dorman hasn't already figured out. It was definitely a polymorph of some kind, whether that was wild shape or the spell polymorph or something. By some method, this person was transforming into a Nothic.
It must not be through polymorph. My understanding of magic is, unless this creature was particularly, I guess, person was particularly non-skilled in combat, being a commoner or something is possible. They wouldn't have died so abruptly after being changed back into their natural form.
So, what's next?
So we have to collect her corpse and bring her to the mayor. We need to get paid. But this is all about money.
All right.
My character sits again. Are you saying this out loud?
Yeah, certainly.
Okay. My character sits again. Money?
Just to gather the corpse.
I'm sorry. Did you say that there's money on that body?
Oh, I assumed you had already frisked it.
No, I haven't.
I'm disappointed.
I know. Everyone else was searching. I didn't want to ruin their fun.
People have been checking out the body. Nobody's frisked it yet.
I frisked the body.
Searching through the elf's possessions, you find 5 gold pieces, a
Yay.
wand, or some kind of small rod, and a book, a green-bound book, which appears to be a small journal.
Can I try to sleight of hand the coins into my pocket?
With as close as everyone is, roll me a sleight of hand check with disadvantage. Everyone else, roll me perception, please.
I guess it doesn't particularly matter of what physical persuasion this person is, but we find a small rod on their person.
I was hoping you would let that one go.
I'm sorry, I could do no such thing.
What the fuck?
Jay
That
and
is
Norman, you see
the odds.
You see Not sort of squirreling away these five gold coins into his pouch.
Dorman says nothing.
Terrell, what does your character say?
Now there, my kind sir. Does that seem fair to you?
Certainly, I found it.
I mean, my guy needs some help here. He doesn't know how to handle these situations.
Well, certainly you may keep the gold. What else have you found?
I say I found this wooden stick, and what else? It was I look. Who knows magic here?
Dorman raises a hand.
I hand.
Gray raises his hand.
I raise my
And
hand.
Imolrith raises his hand.
Literally the entire party.
Except for me. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Who wants the stick? Who wants the stick? I start
Yeah,
waving it.
hand
Dorman
me
raises
the
his hand.
wand. Oh, please?
Nope. Go ahead.
No,
I just
certainly
start-
my masked friend.
Oh, I might be able to identify what it does.
I hand it to Dorman. Here you go. Figure it out.
Can I roll Arcana to check it out?
Sure.
Yep. Cool.
I'll
If not,
assist
I'll
him.
hand it.
No, I'll assist you. Look that. See?
With an
Oh.
assist, that is a crit, and so you test the wand in a number of ways. You give it sort of the old Harry Potter test. You test the springiness of it, the elasticity,
It's Leviosa, not Leviosa.
Leviosa.
you give it and then you point it away from everyone and just kind of focus on it a little. See what you can get. Is there? You feel something in there, like some sort of power. And as you point the wand away from you, and maybe at the opposite wall, a thin ray of white light erupts from the wand and hits the opposite wall, and a bit of smoke sort of spirals up from where it hit.
I'm sorry. Did you say you feel something with inside the rod that he points inside?
Phantom, it is 10:48 at night. We are almost done. Can we please continue?
It's just too much.
No, it's really not, dude. Anyway, at that, Dorman cocks his head to the side and says, "Interesting," and he will turn and offer it to. I keep wanting to say Irithil because I've been playing too much fucking Dark Souls 3. How's your name pronounced again?
Imolrith.
Imolrith. I'm sorry. Thank you.
No, thank
And offer it to him. I think he might make better use of this than I would.
I try my best to greedily, but not visibly, greedily pocket the wand. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Add a wand of Scorching Ray to your inventory, and we'll talk about what that does later.
It's not actual scorching rays, is it? Ooh.
That's not technically a normal 5e item, but my setting, I'll do what I want.
Do what I want. You don't know me.
So,
Let
So
me
that
get
means-
to know it.
that being said, is there anything else you guys want to do?
In this clearing,
Search
We
the
haven't searched
tower, I
all.
guess. Yeah.
I hand Big J a gold coin.
Who's searching the tower?
oh, that was very sweet of you.
Woohoo!
Me? How many people?
Okay.
Come on, it's a team effort here, people.
Yeah, I'll help
Yeah,
out.
let's do it.
I'll help you.
All right, roll with advantage. Roll investigation with advantage, Imolrith. It does not turn up much. Your search. It does not produce much of value. There's just lots of broken wood and old.
I'm distracted by this wand, this new wand in my satchel, thinking of the possibilities.
Malikov, your search turns up another pouch of gold, which is about 10 gold pieces, and another a small wooden amulet with that same symbol on it, scrawled away in what appear to be more of the elf's belongings.
Oh, I'm not gonna search the body exactly because like they've heard.
I'm saying you search the building. You
Oh,
find
okay.
where the elf was living.
Ah, okay. give this. I guess I'll take the coins and place them on my person, and then I'll hand out the amulet with the symbol on it.
Okay.
Does this mean anything to anyone?
Is that the same symbol as what was on her robe?
Yes.
Okay. Well, she was wearing that symbol. Do I recognize the symbol at all? Does it look at all familiar?
Roll me a religion check. You've traveled some before arriving in Kirill, before this all happened. And you've heard tell of a cult. You've never really met any of them in person, but you have occasionally seen the symbols they leave where they've met, places where they gather. They don't have much of an organization yet, but they call themselves the God Eaters.
You motherfucker. Okay. He's going to study this for a moment before he goes still, and he says, I've heard of a cult that bears this symbol, known as the God Eaters. They're a strange bunch, even by cult standards.
I'm sorry, who are you speaking to?
Whoever is around after when Gray shows him the amulet that he picked up.
So, is this cult known to be dangerous? What is it? Do you know any information about them? Are they made up of shapeshifters?
Could I roll some sort of knowledge for this?
You'll have to roll me a knowledge or religion to see if you know anything about the God Eaters as well. Gray, you've probably traveled as well.
He named them, right? Yeah.
You know that in North, you don't know much about them.
Fuck no.
Gray, you know that the God Eaters have sort of established themselves in these little cells across this particular country, or not this country, but through these city-states in this area. The God Eaters have established little cells. They seem harmless enough, except that they do have a habit of showing up uninvited to places and announcing or trying to recruit people. They have a reputation for subterfuge that is unwholesome. They seem to have a habit of poaching members from other religions. Clerics seem to be their favorite target.
Did not Apotham ever read the journal he got?
I don't think so.
I did not. I opened the journal and investigate it.
Roll me a wisdom saving throw.
Sweet. Are you serious?
Get wrecked.
This is going to be psychic damage that does not count towards your total. You don't have to record this. Remember the psychic damage you guys are keeping track of?
Yeah.
This doesn't count toward that.
Okay.
You take 3 psychic damage as a ward inscribed inside the journal goes off and inflicts a horrible vision across the backs of your eyes for a moment before it passes.
I tried to open the book again to see if I can read it now.
Sweet.
The ward has been triggered and does not go off again. This time, you find that the journal belongs to an elven woman named. Hang on. I'm sorry. I didn't know if you guys would get this far.
Well, actually, no. This is a perfect time to stop because you could literally cliffhanger us with this.
No,
He's got a point.
Yeah, like that'd be like a really
11
good.
o'clock. All right, so we're gonna stop here.
The name of the journal belonging to
To be continued.
Indeed.
Credits.